What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and some breaking news to share with you. I do want to lead in and say, obviously I haven't been covering this because I just thought, oh, it's just, a guy who has a bad past, who's done some bad things or whatever. Not really much going on, in my opinion, right? Either they did it or they didn't. Let's see. Well, interestingly, just a few moments ago, there was some video footage released, and it paints this rapper in obviously a horrible light, doing basically some of the worst stuff you can. I'm not going to I'm not going to replay the footage. It's bad. And for months now, all sorts of claims and things have been coming out about this particular rapper, and I've wondered how much of it is true. Some people say, hey, he was a convenient tool, useful only until he wasn't useful anymore, and now they're kind of burning the bridge. What I want to say is, based on the footage that's come out today, two things can be true. And there can be some people who knew that information for the past 10 years and only release it now when it was politically expedient. Maybe politically isn't the correct word, but it backs the narrative of. So what's going on here? Well, for months now, there have been all sorts of claims about Diddy, criminally. He had his place raided, all this stuff. He had all these people, these mules that were getting arrested, all this kind of stuff, right? Well, today, CNN released, footage of him just being putting the beat down on his girlfriend, apparently, and it's irrefutable. But what I think is curious is this incident happened 10 years ago. To be clear, everyone knew about it. When I say everyone, I mean the people that were in charge of releasing it today. They knew about it for the last 10 years. They said nothing. They didn't arrest him. He never went to jail for it. And when you see it, he absolutely should have. Nobody said anything. Why? Because they knew they could control him or use it against him when, it became beneficial to them. So 10 years after the event, which happened in March of 2016, now today we're seeing footage of Diddy appearing from behind a corner, wearing only a towel, and then just going to town. We'll put it that way. And is not good. There is no questioning what happened. There's no questioning that the individual should have been put in jail for it. What's so weird, though, is the very next day, this incident was settled. So he paid her off, very obviously. So releasing it now is only really to continue to smear his character. You can see ongoing legal issues. Since November, he has faced 5 other civil lawsuits accusing him of a range of bad behavior. He has denied all the claims, and the cases remain active. It just seems like out of nowhere, all of a sudden, there's 25 people trying to ruin this guy's life. And again, I want to be clear. Two things can be true at once. This guy could be a piece of garbage, okay, which it appears he is. And also, there could be people who have held onto this footage for just this very day. And all these people who seemingly in a coordinated manner filed lawsuits, right? Maybe somebody's pulling all these strings. Maybe this individual, this rapper, held some sort of value. He's like a burned asset, right? That's how they control you. They get you on tape doing something terrible. I mean, that's what they said about Jeffrey, right? Oh, Jeffrey's got all these tapes. He's gonna control everybody based on this, all this kind of stuff. Well, we've never seen any of those tapes. But also, curiously, the camera outside his cell and I guess the bed sheets all work together to make him disappear. Coincidentally, there are some people, by the way, that believe he's still alive. I don't believe that, but there are some people that do. What's interesting is, so Aaron Dreyer, the attorney for him, at the time calling searches, overuse of military level force. This unprecedented ambush, paired with the advanced coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judge Mr. Combs and has nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made of civil lawsuits. Well, he's going to lose all those civil lawsuits now. This guy's going to go broke. Like they're gonna Kanye him or something. This footage, I don't know why you would say alleged. When you see it, it's very obvious. I'm not showing this. So again, Aubrey O'Day showed support. Former Danity Kane member wrote alongside the footage. This picture is getting a lot more clear. For all you can imagine, people that survive this kind of stuff. Look, there's no denying that this guy did what he did in this case, right? There's no denying that. But I wonder, is there a broader picture here? I don't want to make that assertion. I can't make that assertion. I don't have any evidence to the contrary, right? But you see, you see the mainstream media will be less outraged by this than they are by Harrison Butker. This is the kind of thing, if these are the things we're seeing, imagine the kind of things that happen behind closed doors. Here's Valentina Gomez saying, arrest this criminal. How is he not in jail? Well, I think there is a reason he isn't in jail, right? I mean, you had this evidence, right? He should have been charged. I think there's no denying when you see this evidence, right? This video footage, there's no denying it. There's none. He did it. He just pummeled this lady mercilessly. But the weird thing is, people, I said two things can be true. He can be a POS, and powers that be held the proof until they needed it. People see same applies to politicians, dirty little secrets. The only way this gets buried for nearly 10 years is if it was in the very powerful people's best interest. I don't disagree with that. I can't prove it. I'm not saying it's true, right? I'm not. But it's just, someone said, yeah, dang well that footage was sitting on a shelf for nearly 10 years just in case. They flushed the turd. I mean, that's what it seems. It seems like he's like he's like a burnt asset now. Again, it doesn't make what he did any less terrible, but what I'm concerned about is why was this footage sitting unreleased for 10 years? Why was this footage sitting 10 years? And only to come out on a Friday afternoon after everyone's left to go to work. People won't even see my video talking about it. Again, to be clear, YouTube and other platforms, okay? I 100% believe he did this and he's a piece of garbage, but my question is, okay, so put him in jail for that, okay? But my question is, why wasn't he put in jail 10 years ago? Why was this just released along with this coordinated media smear campaign? And a smear campaign can still be based on true facts. So maybe everything they're saying that he did, maybe it's true. Maybe he did do all these things. But then my question becomes, okay, well then what were they holding this for? Why were they holding this back for 10 years? Who is everybody involved with putting a lid on this tape, putting a lid on this footage? Because this is obviously a crime that took place here, right? There's an obvious crime that took place here. There's no denying it. But why were people covering this up? Why would, who was covering it up? I don't know. I don't have that answer. I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's, I don't know. I don't know. It's just very weird that this stuff sat on the shelf for 10 years and then just happens to come out now in the midst of all this stuff going on. Again, what he did was wrong and he should go to prison for it. But my broader question is, why on earth are we just seeing this now 8 years later or 10 years later? 8 years. Why? And he settled this, by the way, which means that he paid her and there's probably, a non-disparagement clause. She got paid, but that does not preclude him or exclude him from criminal charges. He paid her off, okay? But else got paid off? Why didn't wherever this, I assume this happened in LA, why didn't LAPD prosecute it? These are the questions these are questions that I want to know. Who was covering this up for the last 8 years? And how many other people are they doing this for? I don't know that answer. But as I, awaken a little bit more, as I start to see this stuff more, it's just very odd to me that this stuff sat on a shelf for 8 years and only happened to be released to the internet at the most potentially damaging time for him. It's just, I don't know. Somebody wants this guy to go away. That doesn't mean he didn't do these things. It seems like the real monsters are the ones that sat on this for the last 8 years. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.